This video is sponsored by the Sexy Brutal.
Hanzo is one of the most vicious defense heroes in Overwatch and a brutal force on the battlefield. I'm gonna tell you everything you need to know to dominate with Hanzo and deal with the threats that come your way.
Hanzo, at your service.
Our Japanese assassin uses his skills as a bowman to restore his honor and bring victory for his team. The storm bow he carries can fire arrows with varying strength and speed dependent on how long he charges each shot. At full strength, it deals 125 damage and is one of the fastest moving projectiles in the game. He can also take advantage of headshot multiplier damage, and this is where enemies shudder in fear. The size of the hitbox for his arrows are fairly large when compared to most other heroes. There is little more satisfying than hearing that familiar ding when piercing an enemy's head. Hanzo's biggest strength is his ability to instantly kill most of the heroes in the game in a single shot. If you're landing arrows consistently, he's almost an unstoppable force. To assist in getting those headshots, he can fire a sonic arrow. The arrow can be used to deal damage like his primary fire, but once it lands, it activates a sonar device that allows teammates to see enemies through walls. For the 10 seconds it is active, prepare full strength shots and clean house, or dojo. Providing your team with information through the use of Sonic Arrow is a major part of Hanzo's kit, so make sure to regularly use the skill and be careful not to waste it as it has a long cooldown. Like his brother, Hanzo can scale walls to reach better elevation. Take the high ground whenever you can for an awareness advantage and even escape. Harass the back line from on high and let your arrows block out the sun. Look to target Bastion, Ana, Mercy, and so on to weaken the enemy team. One of Hanzo's most powerful tricks is his scatter arrow. Firing at a surface will shatter it into fragments that can bounce multiple times while flying towards targets. A total of 6 fragments can cut Roadhog's health by more than half if they all hit. The initial arrow deals normal damage, but it is best to fire it at a wall or a floor to shower the enemy with metal rain. Bounce it around corners whenever you can, as you might be surprised how much damage you can do. Once he charges his ultimate, it's time to unleash the dragon. Firing the Dragonstrike launches a normal arrow like the others, but also activates a giant energy dragon that passes through walls. It travels indefinitely through the map and deals massive damage. It is often used to suppress a travel path, but it is wonderful when coupled with Reinhardt's Earthshatter or Zarya's Graviton Surge. Launch it on enemies lit up by Sonic Arrow hiding behind a wall and watch them run or melt.
I bear my burdens as best I can.
The grief over his fight with Genji has left our favorite archer with a few weaknesses. His overall damage per second is fairly low. This makes him less effective at downing a shield than other heroes. Instead, you should take advantage of his high single target burst damage from his primary fire and scatter arrows. While charging a shot, Hanzo loses nearly a third of his movement speed, and yet, fully charged shots will always be the goal. He is truly designed for mid-range combat, and finding that sweet spot will need to become second nature. Scatter arrow can often be blocked by small ledges or shifts in the terrain. Even something as simple as a stone can completely ruin the perfect shot. His arrows fire in an arc, and calibrating for the amount the arrow will fall before reaching its target is a tough skill to master. Hanzo has normal movement speed, and tactical retreats may be a requirement. Take advantage of the ability to vertically scale the environment. Naturally, this can be detrimental when facing a Pharah or Genji, so weigh your options. Sonic Arrow can give a huge advantage since it is essentially an intentionally designed wall hack. However, it only lasts a few seconds and has a fairly long cooldown. Unlike Widowmaker's ultimate, it covers a somewhat small 10-foot radius. You can, however, hit an enemy with it and it will track their movement for the entire duration. As large as Dragonstrike is, the huge vocal announcement and slow velocity can make it difficult to get kills. Try to fire it close to the enemies behind walls where they have little time to escape, or combine it with the other ultimates mentioned earlier.
Strive for perfection.
Hanzo's arrows can hit like a truck, so we have a few tips to take advantage of his kit. Scatter arrows are an easy way to pick up kills. Fire it just in front of your target's feet to hit them with the full ricochet and deal huge damage. As you become more practiced, you can do the same thing on walls and even low ceilings. Think of Dragonstrike as a zoning tool. Use it to push plays off an objective, block a choke point, or scatter a team. If you have someone on your team to combo with, be sure to communicate with them to set it up. As a warning, Diva's Matrix can stop a Dragonstrike if she's close to you. Initially, the ultimate fires a standard arrow that after 4 meters turns into the dragon. If she blocks it within those 4 meters, no more dragon. The same can be done with Genji's Deflect, but it's even worse as he will turn the ultimate back towards you. Peeking in and out of cover taking shots is often a good tactic as it keeps you protected while charging your arrows. A Reinhardt barrier is even better. Hanzo can often be described as a feast or famine hero. When he feasts and lands consistent headshots, he's one of the most powerful heroes in the game. But if your shots are missing or being blocked, then you might need to change strategies. Heroes who move erratically can be hard to hit, especially at long range when you need to try to lead the shot. Genji and Pharah, who can take great advantage of moving both vertically and horizontally, can be tricky when you're new to Hanzo. Predictable heroes like McCree are easy to line up a headshot on, so prioritize your targets. Positioning is a key element to success with Hanzo. If you're faced with up-close targets, a combination of quick fire arrows and melee attacks may win the confrontation. On the flip side, stray too far from the front and leading the projectiles can be a bit tougher without tons of practice. Finding that sweet spot and staying on the move can be key to locking down a win. I would love to continue talking about Hanzo Shimada, but I don't want to drag on forever. Let me know what tips you want to share in the comments below. This has been Jason for Curse saying thanks for watching, and enjoy the game.
I am ready to unleash the dragon.
Ooh la la.
Brought to you by the Sexy Brutale, a never-ending masked ball featuring intrigue, murder, and quite possibly the occult.